get ready to move on to the next step of your life, going into middle school. They are proud to celebrate your accomplishments, celebrate your successes. And if I have any words of advice to you, today would be a great day to ask them for something that you've been wanting for quite some time right now. On a more serious note though, please do take the time after this graduation is done today to thank your parents. Thank them for all that they do for you. It's something I know when I was a little bit younger, I didn't truly understand how much time and effort your parents do put into your education, to your sports, to your outside activities, until really you do get up into those ranks where you've graduated college and you truly fully start to understand how many sacrifices they've made for you all throughout your schooling and every other thing you've done, and how much they really do mean to you. So please do take the time to give them a hug, say I love you, and really thank them for what they do, because it is truly very special. What I want to kind of try to put in your minds here today is, as I'm sure you all are very anxious to take the next step into middle school, with the scary thoughts of being around those big 7th and 8th graders, having to change classes, learning locker combinations. I remember those were all my fears because I still remember 5th grade graduation from this day. But what I want you to do is kind of try to think a little bit ahead as you leave today. What do you want to remember as you sit at your next graduation, 8th grade graduation, before going into high school? So I know that's 3 years from now, and to you that seems like an eternity, I understand. But think about what you want to accomplish. What are the new things you want to do? What new friends do you want to make? I distinctly remember when I was about your age, I listened to audio cassette tape. I know that's kind of throwback. I don't know if you guys don't even know what audio cassette tapes are anymore. But I listened to audio cassette tape, and it was by Lou Holtz. He's an old Notre Dame football coach, for those of you that don't know. And what he talked about was writing down a list of goals. And at about your age, it just kind of hit me. What do I want to do? What do I want to do in life? What do I want to, I'm this 10, 11, 12-year-old kid. What do I want to accomplish as I go through? And, naturally I wrote down the cool things. Well, I want to drive a cool sports car. I want to make millions of dollars. I want to be the most famous person in the world. But I also wrote down some other things. I want to play a Division I sport. I want to graduate from high school with a 4.0 GPA. Things like that. And at the time, I just kind of thought it was one of those things where I'd been inspired by this tape and wrote things down. But something that I realized as I went through middle school and into high school and on to college, I kept coming back to that list. And as things went along, surprisingly, I was able to check off some of those things. Going back and being able to see, well, when I was 10 years old, I said I wanted to graduate with high school with a 4.0 GPA. Well, when I graduated high school, I got to go back and check that off. And it's one of those things that is just very humbling as you go through, and once you set those goals, to finally achieve them and reach them. So I encourage you, as I know you will be anxious and enjoying the nice weather and having fun with your friends this summer, think about some of the things you want to achieve in middle school and as you get towards high school and things of that nature, and what you want to accomplish. As was mentioned before, trying new clubs, making new friends, getting involved with new things that maybe you didn't feel like you would get involved with before. I encourage you to do some of those things. Also, I want to encourage you to do 3 things as you go through, as you move on to your next adventure. The first one is always try your best. Always try your best in whatever you do. You never know how good you can be at something unless you truly give it your all. I'll never forget growing up, I had friends that, when they got a bad grade on a test or they didn't do well at something, they'd always say, I didn't really care, I didn't try. I never really understood that, because in my mind it always seems like you should try your best at whatever you do. Whether you succeed or whether you fail, if you try your best, you know that you gave it your all and you did the best you could. So I encourage you to, number 1, always try your best at whatever you do. Number 2, don't be afraid to fail. I was reading something the other day, and it was a little bit older article. And in 2012, Kobe Bryant was the youngest NBA player to ever reach 30,000 points. Ironically, ESPN also published an article around that time that said Kobe Bryant was also on track to miss the most shots in NBA games than any other player in NBA history. I'm sure you've heard it before that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, but that truly is true and carries over to other things besides sports and just basketball. Don't be afraid to fail in something that you've never tried before, or that's new, or seems daunting or scary. But truly do go for it. Don't be afraid of failure. Sometimes when you're in failure, you start to learn the most about yourself and learn what you truly want to accomplish and do. And the last thing might be a little bit harder for you to grasp right now, but we have a strength coach at Michigan. And when I was a freshman, I walked on campus and we were going through some of the hardest workouts I've ever worked out in my life. We were doing push-ups until my arms, I couldn't move them, I couldn't feel them. We were running until I was basically falling on the ground. And I remember getting halfway through these workouts and we had a strength coach that just kept yelling out, "Enjoy the struggle, enjoy the struggle." And at 18 years old, I looked up and I said, "This man is crazy, what is he talking about? How am I supposed to enjoy this?" And it wasn't really until probably the last year or so when I truly understood what enjoy the struggle meant. And it didn't just relate to just football, it didn't just relate to workouts, it related to a lot of things. As someone who's gone through multiple years of schooling, someone who's been a teacher now in the classroom for about a half year and going down that path, I understand that not every day that you come to school, you want to, you read that book or take that test. I understand that urge isn't always there. But when you think back, some of the best memories that you'll have with school are some of those times that you were just with your friends in the hallway on those days where maybe it wasn't going so well, or things weren't always up to par of how you wanted things to go along. So truly do enjoy the struggle. Enjoy the time you spend at school, the teachers you build relationships with, the friends you make, the projects you do, the things you learn, the things you take away from the classroom. Truly do enjoy that, because that's something that carries over into life and will help you in so many other aspects than just beside academics, because it truly is very important. With that, I wish you all the best. I hope you all have a great summer, and again, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Great school graduation. That guy's good. Very impressed. Very impressive.